Once upon a time, in a land a long, long time ago, there lived a man, and he lived in a house, and his name was Peter. And he had a job with the New Zealand government, and he was very happy. He made lots of money, and he worked for all of the different government departments. And he was pretty smart, and the Mensa, he was wanted, the people from the Mensa wanted him to work for them, but he said no. And he was very happy, and he had a wife and 7 children, and he'd go to work every day, and he'd work for the government and then come home and he'd cook some food and spend time with his family. And then one time he had a baby, and his youngest baby had to go and get his booster shot from the doctor, and his baby got really sick after that, and they discovered that he had caught autism, because autism used to be very catchy in the olden days, and so that's how you used to catch it, if you get your booster shot and stuff. And that made Peter feel a bit sad and a bit worried, and he started to learn a bit more about things like that, and he did because he was smart, so he read lots of books about things about booster shots, and he decided no, he didn't want to do that anymore. But then things got better, and his baby got well again, and his baby didn't die, which is great. And then his baby turned into a child, and the child went to school, and Peter was going to work every day, and his 7 children were really happy. But then one day there was a really bad storm, and so Peter said, quick, get into the house, kids, and everyone ran into the house. And then a few moments later there was a knock on the door, and Peter went to open it, and it was the police, and the police were there with Oranga Tamariki. And Peter didn't know what was happening, and he said, what are you guys doing? And then there was a discussion, and then Peter had to go down to do a family meeting. But Peter thought, oh, this will be okay, because Peter trusted the government, because he'd worked for every government department. But that was back in the olden days, when Peter used to trust the government.
Hello, New Zealand government. I trust you.
One day, believe it or not, I signed an OT contract, okay? And that's because they promised to help my son. And what happened was, as time progressed, I realised that there was a creep in scope, we'll call it, eh? There was scope creep in what they had said that they would provide and what they actually provided for the contract. So I realised that I got played. It wasn't benefiting me and my son anymore. So I called all of OT and all the services. There's a whole bunch of them, people that provided OARS funding and people that provided disability funding and all those sorts of things. And teachers' aides and all that were helping Kyle, because basically what had happened is he had ended up just being a gopher and running around with notes to different classrooms and crap like that instead of doing schoolwork. And I was thinking, oh man. So I called them all into this meeting, and we had this meeting near Fraser School, which is the school that he went to, and I brought him along and I sat him in the corner. And then what happened was I called them all together, and I got him in there, and he was sitting in the back, and then I got up and I said, well, I'm the parent of this child that you've been assisting, and as a concerned parent, I just wanted to get a progress report from you. Could each of you please tell me all of the things that you've done to assist my son in his journey from autism? And they go, okay, and then they went into this, I could only call it,
How did he get autism?
Gratuitous vaccine, there was a gratuitous self-promotion thing going on from all these people telling me how many things they'd done with my son and how much they'd assisted him, and then after they'd finished, I go, well, really? Okay, fine. So I called Kyle up, and I go, Kyle, and he comes up and he goes, yes, Dad, and I go, have a look at these people carefully. Tell me if you know any of them. And he looked around real carefully because he does what his dad says.
Because he's autistic, so he's got the good tunnel vision.
And he goes, no, I've never seen any of them. And I go, bang, there's your answer. You're all a bunch of liars sitting there collecting funding for my son and not even helping. No contract. Boom. No contract. I said, if it doesn't benefit me, it doesn't apply to me. And then I left, and that was the end of it, mate. Contract null and void. And that's what I did. I just said, if it doesn't benefit me, it doesn't apply to me, and then that was the end of it. I left the place, and I never had anything to do with Oranga Tamariki or the family or parent help, whatever the hell they call themselves these days.
What happened with the school?
Well, nothing. I just took him out of school, and I didn't send him back to school, and I just
Homeschooled him or something?
Yeah. As soon as my kids turned like college age, I just took them out of school because I thought it's probably better to remove them from the source of
The
bad reports. Yeah, because that's where it comes from. It comes from the teachers when they don't like or they see something in your kid, and then they report to the authorities, and that's where the problems come. Okay, so it's a case of don't assume that the short time that you see a child during the day is their entire life, and that you know them. So it's like this, you see this kid every day. He's at school, he's down, he's just moping around the corner. People go, why is that kid moping around there? And they go and talk to the kid, and they go, hey boy, how are you? Is there something going on at home, or why are you always moping around, eh? And then you find out it's because he hates having to go to school. Hey,
Yeah.
it's hilarious, eh? Oh, and they go and try and blame the parents. There's something wrong. Why is your kid moping around at school every day? Well, it's because he has to come here. Jesus, come on, look at the place. Well, it's the school bell, mind control, yeah. You can talk about school bell mind control. But making that noise constantly is a form of, it's like, I guess it's like,
Training, isn't it? Psychological.
it's the same as calling the cows in for milking, or, ringing a bell for the sheep, or whatever,